Activate your plasma axe and let's chop these bugs. It's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. Hello and welcome back to our final video for issues 57 and 58. So we've got a few pages to go through. We've got some pages for the campaign. We've also got the pages for all of the rules for the Combat Patrol for the Leagues of Votann, plus the Combat Patrol datasheet itself. And we have a brand new scenario to try out our Cthonian Berzerks. So before we hit the table and do all that, don't forget to, of course, do all the usual. Like this video if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of it. And drop me a comment down below, as I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out this channel, and it's great to keep up to date with what you're doing in your hobby. Finally then, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything you need for getting started, to expanding your forces, to adding all your final details, and of course they stock Combat Patrol and other parts and present partworks from Hachette. So check out warbay.shop, there's a link as usual in the video description. And of course, you might find the next hobby project there at a bit of a discount. Right, let's go chop some nids as we try out our Cthonian Berzerks in a game of Space Hulk. So here we are then with issues 57 and 58 for the final time. We've got our Cthonian Berzerks and we've got our Tyranids who are patrolling the decks of a Space Hulk, and the Votann have come along to salvage materials. So we've got a few pages of the campaign to read up on first. So without further ado, let's move these guys to one side, adjust the camera, and dive right on in. Into issue 57 we go first off then. So past our battle records into our campaign pages. So this is Orcs versus Tyranids, so both a force that enjoy a good fight. The Orcs just like to fight the toughest and the hardest, and the Tyranids like to, well, munch anything that gets in their way. So we're playing Display of Might here. And yeah, pretty cool, just have a bit of a fun time bashing each other. That's it. Up next then, we got to look at our Leagues of Votann faction abilities. So we've got Eye of the Ancestors ability as well as Judgment tokens here. Eye of the Ancestors is a special ability that can be used by Leagues of Votann armies. The ability is used to add Judgment tokens to enemy units. Friendly units then get a bonus when attacking units with Judgment tokens. The type of bonus that they get depends on how many Judgment tokens the enemy unit has been allocated. So each time an enemy unit destroys a Leagues of Votann unit from your army, that enemy unit gains a Judgment token. An enemy unit can never have more than 2 tokens. Any additional ones are ignored. Each time a model from your army makes an attack that targets a unit that has 1 or more Judgment tokens, until the model's attack has been resolved, apply the following bonuses. So if you have 1 token, add 1 to hit rolls. If you have 2 tokens, add 1 to hit rolls and to wound rolls. Now, a reminder here on Judgment tokens, so 2 different ways of giving out Judgment tokens, the Carl's Grim Efficiency, as well as the Eye of the Ancestor ability as detailed above here. So you got tutorial here on how to give out your Judgment tokens and the benefits they give. Then moving on to the rest of the Votann Combat Patrol abilities. So we've got the enhancements, the secondaries, as well as our stratagems. So our enhancements, our basic one is Waste Feeds the Void. So each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a range attack, add 1 to the hit roll. In addition, if the bearer's unit is eligible to shoot in the turn in which they've fallen back. So that's pretty cool, get out of combat and still be able to shoot. Optionally, he can have Pragmart Comms Uplink. So add 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in the bearer's unit. In addition, you can reroll battleshot tests for the bearer's unit. Our secondaries, we've got Toil Urns. Before the battle, at the start of the deploy army step, select one objective marker that is not in your deployment zone. From the second battle round onwards, at the end of your turn, you score 4 points if you control that marker. So a nice way of getting additional bonus points. We also have settle the grudge as an optional secondary objective. From the second battle round onwards, at the start of the battle round, select an enemy unit that has not been destroyed and has one or more judgment tokens. At the end of the battle, you score 4 points if that target from that battle round has been destroyed. So nice one that you can stack up again, like with toil urns. So if you can keep hold of that objective, you get 4 points end of each turn. Settle a grudge is a nice one. You get to pick a new unit every time to be your grudge target. And you score 4 points if you eliminate it on a turn. Then finally for our stratagems, so payment in kind gives you rerolls, hit rolls of 1. Pan-spectral sweep to the end phase. You have lethal hits to all weapons in your unit. And Skeenwort physiology, so improve the save by 1. All in all, pretty cool. Alright then, over then to issue 58, where we have another page for the campaign, and we have our mission where we try these guys out. There we go, right to it. So this one we got Eldari versus Orcs, playing forward outpost. The Eldari and the Orcs come across each other, and is now important time to battle each other. We've got a wrong picture here, so we've got a beast snagger boy there instead of the boy that we should have. And then we've got campaign for Chaos Space Marines versus Orcs. So 3 Orc missions over the course of these issues. This time I'm playing Scorched Earth. Yeah, Forces of Chaos are now facing off against the Orcs for riches and glory or good scrap. Next up then, we have our Leagues of Votann Combat Patrol datasheet. So it gives us all the information of what the Combat Patrol includes, as well as what each unit is equipped with. So we got our Carl here, who has a Volkite Disintegrator, Massgorn and Teleport Crest. Cthonian Berzerks, so 3 with Plasma Axe, 1 with Mold Grenade Launcher and Plasma Axe, and 1 with Concussion Gauntlets. Hernkin Pioneers, 1 with Bolt Revolver, Bolt Shotgun, Magna Coil, Autocannon, Plasma Knife and Comms Array. 1 with Bolt Revolver, Bolt Shotgun, Magna Coil, Auto Cannon, Plasma Knife and Rollbar Searchlight. And 1 with Bolt Revolver, Bolt Shotgun, High Las Rotary Cannon, Magna Coil, Auto Cannon and a Plasma Knife. Then finally we got Hearthkin Warriors, so 10 models, Fane with the Itakan Plasma Pistol and Kin melee weapon plus a Wavefield Crest. 4 Hearthkin Warriors with Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol, Ion Blaster and combat weapons. 1 with Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol, Ion Blaster, Comms Array and close combat weapon. Another one with Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol, Ion Blaster, combat weapon and Medipack. Hearthkin Warrior equipped with Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol, Ion Blaster, close combat weapon and Pan Spectral Scanner. Then 1 Hearthkin Warrior equipped with Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol, High Las Auto Rifle, close combat weapon. And the final one has the Magna Rail Rifle, Autok Pattern Bolt Pistol and close combat weapon. So there we go. You see patrol in the colours of the Kronus Hegemony there, which is pretty cool. Nice to see it painted in something other than the Greater Furian League. Speaking of our patrol, it's time to try our latest unit for our patrol in Scenario 35, Hunt Them Down. While exploring a derelict space hulk in a void between worlds, a contingent of Cthonian Berzerks spreads out from the rest of their crew in search of knowledge that may still be hiding within the systems of the ancient wreck. But they stray too far and become cut off from their fellow salvagers. Soon, the readings on their scanners reveal the terrifying truth. They are not alone. Quickly, the Berzerks take a last futile look at the area and then head back towards their fellow salvagers. But as they move, the life signs on their scanners move with them. Whatever is in there with them is wise to their presence and is hunting them. The Cthonian Berzerks resolve not to flee before this unknown foe, but to meet them head-on. They draw their weapons and turn about, bodies thrumming with the invigorating cyberstims coursing through their veins. A skittering noise alerts them to danger. Tyranids. These beasts never give up, and there is only one way to survive. The Cthonian Berzerks will have to hunt and kill every last one of them. So to play this scenario, hunt them down, set up the battlefield so it represents an ancient space hulk using a single battle mat as shown on the next page. Then follow the deployment instructions. Once each player has finished deploying the units, the players roll off to the side who takes the first turn. During the game, each terrain card on the battlefield represents a solid pillar that runs from the floor to the ceiling of the derelict ship. Units cannot see over or through these terrain features, which means they cannot shoot through them. Neither can they climb up and over these terrain features. Okay, that's an important note. So set up a battlefield like so, using one terrain card crossing over each of the double deployment zones so one per larger section of the map. Tyranid player has 2 units of 1 Von Rhein's Leaper and 3 units of 2 Termagants. The Leagues of Votann player has 5 single model units of Cthonian Berzerks, which are deployed in their deployment zone. Neither side may take secondary enhancements or use stratagems. Doesn't mention about faction abilities, that's interesting. So how to win: each player scores 2 points for each unit destroyed. The player the most victory points after the 5 battle rounds is the winner. If the players has equal number of points after 5 battle rounds, the game is a draw. You've got a roll-off reminder, so a simple matter of rolling. Person with the highest number gets to choose first turn. A little bit of a reminder here about data sheets. So feel no pain and cyberstims for our Cthonian Berzerks. So the Cthonian Berzerks are unusually hardy, even for warriors of the Leagues of Votann. Their legendary toughness is represented by the feel no pain rule, which allows them to avoid damage, and by the cyberstims ability, which gives them a final chance to strike back against anyone who has been able to take them down. So feel no pain X plus means you need to roll a certain number in order to ignore a wound. In this case, we have a feel no pain 5 plus, so each time you take a wound has not been saved on your armor, you roll a dice on a 5 plus, you can ignore that point of damage. Then we have cyberstims. So Cthonian Berzerks have a special ability that allows them to make a final strike against the enemy when they are destroyed. This makes engaging them in close combat a risky decision for your opposing player. If the Cthonian Berzerk model in engagement range of an enemy unit and that Cthonian Berzerk is destroyed before it has fought, you may use the cyberstims ability to do so. Roll d6 on a 4 plus. That model gets to fight as normal after the attacking unit has resolved their attacks. Once it has fought, remove it as normal. So here we have a Cthonian Berzerk engaged with 4 Tyranids. It took its 2 damage but hasn't fought yet. Rolls a 4 plus, so it means it gets to fight back, and in doing so it manages to wipe out the entire Tyranid unit that attacks it. That's our victory. So without further ado then, let's set up the battlefield and have ourselves a skirmish. Alright then, here we are all set up, ready to play Mini Space Hulk? Question mark? It's a fun little game where we're going to be trying to, well, pretty much just defeat each other. So we've got the Votann over here, we've got the Tyranids down here, and we've got to roll off to see who gets first turn. So it's Votann with a 5-4. So here we go with Leagues of Votann, turn 1. Well, the Votann turn was pretty quick. They've simply just all advanced into slightly better positions along the corridors. Got the mole launcher ready to cover this area. We've got 2 guys here and 2 guys covering the rear. So over to Tyranids turn 1, and they'll probably be pretty much the same. Well, the Tyranids have all moved up, but there is going to be a charge. We've got one Leaper here who's in range to charge the Votan. And the most dangerous weapon is probably the Gauntlets at strength 9. So we'll charge into this guy with a 6. It's just enough. We have fight first, so we'll strike with our 6 attacks with our Leaper Talons, hitting on freeze. -1. And then we have strength 5, toughness 5, 4s. Only the 2. So these are -1, so we have no save whatsoever. And it's 1 damage each, so 2 5 up, feel no pains. Ooh, 1 passed. 2 passed, so double 6. So he's ignored that, and he's going to punch back with his 4 attacks of his gauntlets. Hitting on 4s. Twice. And strength 9, toughness 5, it's not double, so freeze. Just the 1. -1. So a 5 up save on the Leaper. No, not saved. And it's 2 damage, giving it... leaving it, should I say, with 1. With that then, it's over to Leagues of Votan, turn 2. So everybody's moved up. These 2 guys down here just sort of hiding around the corners, waiting for the Tyranids to come at them. Mole launchers moved down. They had to both advance to get in their positions. This guy's going to stand still and charge in. So we've got our mole launcher shooting at the termagants there, and it's D6 shots, D6 +1 because of the war gear ability. So we get the big 7. All of this just to kill 2 termagants. Hitting on 4s. Only 4, not too bad. And strength 5, toughness 3, wounding on freeze. Ouch. Only the 1. 2 1s and a 2 don't do much good. So -1 to the termagant's armor, down to a 6 up save. Not saved. And only 1 damage, so 1 dead termagant. So with that in mind, charging with our plasma axe, only needing a 2, and he's got a 10. The Leaper will still strike first because it has innate strike first. 6 attacks will split them 3 and 3. 3 on the fist guy, all hitting. And forced wound, just the 1, which was a 6. 3 attacks on the axe guy, 2 hitting. And 1 wounding, so... no armor save, so it's a feel no pain on the axe, saved on a 6, and a feel no pain on the fists, not saved. So he takes a single damage. But he's still alive as they have 2 wounds each. So with that, it's over to the Votan to strike back. So 4 attacks of our... actually, let's do the axe with his 3 attacks for a strike. Hitting on 3+, 2 of them. Strength 6, toughness 5, freeze. 2 of them at -2, so it's down to the 6 up invuln save. 1 made, 1 failed. That will be overkill on the termagant, and we scored our first victory points. 2 points for each unit slain. So we'll remember that once we get to the end. And with that, we can consolidate, sort of, closest enemy unit. Although we haven't got an engagement range, but it's fine. It's just confined to the Space Hulk. And with that, we're over to the Tyranids, turn 2. So our 1 remaining Leaper is going around the back. stalking his way through the corridors of the Hulk. So we've got our 1 termagant here. He's going to shoot at the injured Berserker. So 4+, it hits. Strength 5, tough 5, force wound, does wound. No AP, so 6 up Berserker save, not saved. 5 up, feel no pain on 1 damage, not saved. Our fist is down, 2 points for the Tyranids. We got the 2 termagants here, they're going to shoot, they can't see the mole launcher, so they'll shoot the axe. 1 hits, but doesn't wound. The 1 here will charge in, needing a 2. Actually, I forgot the shooting down here. We'll shoot the 2 into the axe guy closest to them. 1 hit, 1 wound, 6 up save, nope, 5 up feel no pain, nope, 1 damage to the axe guy here, and they'll charge into him with an 8. So Tyranids will fight first. We got 2 down here with their claws. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 5s, nope. 1 attack up here, hitting on a 4, no, okay. Didn't go too well. Over to the Votan then, so we'll do the sweep down here, as we've got 2 targets to hit. So 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s, we've got lots of 2s, that's not very good. And so strength 4, toughness 3, freeze the wound. Both have wounded. And -1, so 6 up save, still on the Tyranids. 1 made, 1 failed. Then 3 attacks of our strike on this guy. Hitting on 4s, no freeze for the strike still, it's the fists of 4s. And 2s. That's overkill, -2. Another 2 points for the Votan. And technically we can consolidate again. In that case, speaking of the Votan, it's time for Leagues of Votan, turn 3. Everybody's moved about to get in prime striking position. So we'll try our shooting first on the Leaper. D6 shots, +1, only 3 this time. So hits on 4s, just once. Strength 5, tough 5, force the wound. It does wound, and -1. 5 up save on the Leaper, it dodges. Oh well, it's going to have to be melee. Charge here, and a charge there. So we'll do the mole launcher first. A 10, more than enough. We'll do the 2 termagants. A 3 is just enough. And then the 1 guy here needing a 2. He got a 6. So we will do strike profile here. All hitting and 2s. Yeah, that's 1 dead termagant. So that's 2 dead termagant units and 1 dead Leaper. So Votan are 3 points to 2. These guys will consolidate. We've got the Leaper there. We'll do a strike, so it's 3 attacks +1. So hitting on 3s. That's everything. Strength 6, wounding on 3s. 3 of them, that's pretty good. And -2, so it's down to the 6 up invuln save. Ooh, saved 1 but failed 2, and these are 2 damage apiece. Technically he would strike first before he dies though, so we'll do that. Only twice. And wounding only the once. 5 up feel no pain, no. Single damage through to the mole launcher. But they took the Tyranid down. And final attack then, we got a sweep attack, 6 dice going at those last 2 termagants. 3 of hit. Need all of them to wound, or at least 2 of them to wound. Can we wound with strength 4, toughness 3, freeze? Only the 1. So looks like it is going to go on for a little bit longer. -1 though, so a 6-up save. No. 1 dead termagant. Into the Tyrannid's turn, so they could fall back, but they're just going to get charged again. So we'll do... yeah, we'll do our strike profile for the Tyrannid turn. Actually, no, he hasn't fought back yet, so that one turn we're going to fighting back first. Hits. Doesn't wound. And we've hit twice. And wounded twice. And it's -1 on the strike. And not -2 on the strike, so no save whatsoever. And that is a board wipe. So 3 turns, and Tyrannid is 1-5-2-2. So yeah, pretty cool little mission. And yeah, very easy for the Votann to win that, actually. I mean, they have got a lot better AP and higher attacks, so they've done pretty good. They're not the most durable, though. What I did forget, though, was the stims, because he never actually... actually, he died of shooting, so he wouldn't have managed to activate his stims. It was only in the fight phase. Yeah, melee attack. But there we go. It's a Votann victory, so let's go back to the magazine, do our outro with our victory speech, see what's in our next 2 combat patrols, and that's a wrap then on this double issue whammy. Well, back to our magazine it is then. So back to issue 58 for our victory speech at the back of the magazine. And we had a kin victory. The Cthonian Berzerks worked hard for their victory, but they have overcome the Tyranids and cut them down. The Hive Mind has learned something today. Do not trifle with the forces of the Leagues of Votann. I expect there'll be some trifling to do in future videos when they actually get to have a full-on fight. Now that we have the complete combat patrol. Before we do go to the back cover to see what's next, we have got that beautiful shot of our next 2 combat patrols. So the Imperial Guard there in the tan or beigey sort of colour. Looking really cool. Can't wait to get these guys. Still haven't decided if I'm going to follow the magazine paint guides. Probably will though, but I'm going to put a poll out anyway, see what you guys do think about it. But before we get to those guys, we have got the Genestealer Cults, and I've got to get my delivery will be arriving tomorrow, which is Thursday the 30th. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We got the last 2 units for our Votann and Orcs, and we got the first unit for our Genestealer Cults, the Magus there. Speaking of our next 2 issues then, issue 59 is the Boomdacker Snazwagon, a really cool Orc vehicle. A really fun name to say, Boomdacker Snazwagon. So we learn about it, build it and paint it, and we have a scenario where he's racing against the Space Marine Chaplain on bike. And then I think the more exciting issue for me, issue 60, the Iron Here Hearthguard. We learn about the Hernkin. We have a new page for Bonds of Honor. And of course we've got build, paint and playing article for utilising these guys. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be swapping out the Cthonian Berzerks, I think, for these guys most of the time. They're much more fitting for the Kronus Hegemony, and I do quite like those more than I do the Berzerks. They are kind of cool, the Berzerks, but yeah, these guys are way better. They're kind of the kin Terminators, but they're only on a 32mm base. So, looking cool. And like I said, after that, we got a paint issue and our first Genestealer Cult issue. So there we have it. That is up to date at long last. So by the time you've seen this video, my unboxing for the latest delivery will be out, and then I can crack on and film the Boomdacker Snazwagon video. So yeah, looking forward to the next delivery and the next few issues. We've got some awesome models, and we're starting probably one of my most anticipated combat patrols with the Genestealer Cults. And after that, I'm really looking forward to the World Eaters. So as I said in a post, there's going to be some polls up. One for if you want to see alternate Cadians, and one to vote on who will be the next of the patrols to get a alternate colour scheme. We've had alternative Chaos and we've had alternative Eldari. So it's going to be between Space Marines, Tyranids, Orcs and Votann. I've got some spare Votann. If it is the Votann, I've got some spare Hernkin Warriors I found in the wilds in the W.H. Smith. When it comes to the other factions, I've got some spare models I can utilise. Not necessarily ones that come in the collection, but yeah, I've got Tyranids to spare and I've got some Space Marines spare. So there we go. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this double whammy. I might be doing a third poll actually, letting you see if you've enjoyed these double issues and if you want to see more of them in the future. I'll probably do it mainly as a result of trying to catch up when I haven't been able to get things done on time. But there we have it. All that's left for me to do is to say thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you for more Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.